Hey guys, Adam Rose, Vice President, Senior Loan Officer of Western Ohio Mortgage here in Sydney, Ohio, and this is another episode of the Mortgage Guy Podcast, and this is the one where you get to know Bill Worms with Technical Roofing out of St. Henry, Ohio. And first off, thank you for coming on the show, Bill.
Yeah, welcome.
We've been talking about it for,
Been a while.
A hot second. So finally pulled the trigger. I guess 2024 is one of those new things where people start coming on shows like this because they want to change some things on what they do in their daily life. But Bill, what I want to talk about is your company a little bit, but a bio on yourself. You know, where you from, where you live. Well, that's the same thing.
Yep.
Family, stuff like that.
A little bit about myself. From St. Henry, Ohio, born and raised there.
Never left.
Never left. 5 kids, married. 5 kids. We got 5 grandkids. Everything's awesome. We love our little town.
What kept you in St. Henry?
Just born and raised there.
Yeah. Familiar.
I'm only 3 blocks away from where I grew up, so you're right there.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Very cool. So this technical roofing. So why roofing? Like, how did this get started? And did you officially start it? Was it family owned before that? How'd this all come about?
I've been in the roofing industry for over 30 years, so What wasn't original. Went to work just by chance.
Kind of like fell into the business?
Well, yeah, I was, so to speak.
Yeah.
I was doing something else with a couple buddies, and, partnerships can be a little tough.
Yes, it can.
So we chose to split in that partnership and stay friends. I think being friends is the main thing over anything. So we did that. I just went to work for a local guy in town. I said, just for now, I need something quick.
Now, what year was this?
Oh, that was back in 95.
Okay, very good.
So
been in the game 30 years.
Been in the game 30 years.
Been in the game 30 years.
It's been awesome. Started in the field.
Yep.
You just work your way through the field. Worked for a gentleman, and then he had passed away. So another firm had bought it out. So went to work for that firm. About 10 years. And then, you kind of get your own, I need to do something for myself, for my family. So just put some feelers out there about starting our own. And a couple gentlemen gave me an opportunity to start one. They were from the Fremont area.
Okay.
It gave me an opportunity to start my own in St. Henry. So we joined forces, again, a partnership. A little scary for them, a little scary for me. But that one gelled really, really well. So 2 brothers up north and myself, knowing eventually we'd be 2 separate companies as our kids came out through.
Okay.
So
kind of had that pre-written, like, here's the deal, here's how this is going to look. I plan on having my family run this, and this partnership's going to have to start to slowly dissipate and dissolve, kind of a thing, right?
And
so when you first got in the field, was it industrial or commercial roofing? Okay.
All flat roof, all commercial industrial roofing. That's kind of our bread and butter. That's our biggest part of our firm. Since then, my neighbor decided to retire, so I kind of took on his seamless gutter residential.
Right.
So we did that, which kind of stemmed into a little bit of residential roofing, shingles and steel. Do a little bit more of the difficult jobs, the jobs that not everybody wants to do.
Oh yeah, so, I feel that same way as a lender.
Right.
It's like, nobody can do this deal. Can you do it? It's like, well, I'll give it a shot. Exactly. Here we go. So that's good. Now this business, though, like you mentioned, is a family business. So we got boys, I assume, in the business.
Yes.
Right? How many boys we got in there?
I got 5 kids, 2 girls, 3 boys. All 3 boys are in it.
Yep. All right. What about the girls? Are they in the back office at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Girls wanted nothing to do with it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Nope. They both have their own good thing going on.
Good.
So
good.
That's where we're at with that. But the boys all came on. They all came through the field.
Yep. That's the best way to do it.
We're in the process now of bringing them up in different stems of the the business, as far as operations, service, install, ordering.
Sure.
So it's been good. They all complement each other extremely well. So as the old man decides to get out here, maybe in 5-10 years or 20.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
they kick me out.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So are you ever going to retire then? I mean, is there a what's the word I'm looking for? A succession plan, like someone coming in and be like, all right, here's how this is going to work, because you got 3 boys in it.
Sure.
And it's not like they're all the same age and have the same experiences.
Sure.
So the question is, who's taking it on as the owner? Is that ever like at the Family Feud dinner table talks?
We have monthly, we call them Worms Boys meetings.
Yeah.
We have monthly meetings just to review things like that. It just keeps us joined. It keeps us all together, talking about the future, etc. I love what I do. So I can actually say I have a game plan to stop.
Good.
But probably won't.
All right.
At that time.
I mean, if you like what you do and it's not,
Love what I do.
yeah, I mean, that's half the battle right there.
So, yep.
So it's good. So we got multiple divisions. So you got industrial. So, I mean, that's your bread and butter, right? That's your primary thing that you do. And then you have those little divisional offshoots with the gutters and seamless gutters. And then you also have some residential roofing sprinkled in there. So what does this process look like? And what's an ideal client look like for you? If someone's watching this video and they're like, yeah, we've been needing this, or hey, I can send somebody over there because they've been having issues with their commercial industrial installer. What does this process look like from like quote to work to follow up?
Okay.
How does that work for people?
Okay. Well, we're very proactive, so very seldom do we wait for the phones to ring. Probably 80 to 85% of our business is past and referral.
Nice. Good.
So what helps being in the business this long, you have a continual run. So one of my goals there is to start introducing my sons to those people.
Right. Yeah. Continue those relationships.
As I try to slip behind the scenes a little bit. But,
the Homer Simpson meme, fading into the bushes a little bit. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as when someone calls in, we really qualify them well. So we really know what they're looking for, what they need, where their problems are. We will not oversell. I don't feel we are salespeople.
Right.
I feel we are service people.
Yep.
We're in a service industry.
You provide a solution to their problem is what you're doing.
Yes.
You're
And
not saying, well, you can also have this product and this product and this is the the Cadillac of this one. That's not what you do. You provide a service and a product that they need to fulfill their need. And
Exactly.
That's it. Okay. Good.
And if we can fix it, if it's fixable, we will not. You don't need a new roof at this time. Let's service it for 3, 4, 5, 8 years, etc.
So you actually just, I want to talk about the product that you offer because it's flat rubber roofs, and I may be
Duralast,
Duralast.
PVC.
I don't want to misspeak because so. And you recently got one of the top ranked in the countries for Duralast. Is that right?
Yes.
Very good. So what is that product? If you want to, because there are some people out there that may have a building downtown that has a flat roof, or maybe they're jumping into a commercial space and they know absolutely nothing about this because it's not a normal piece of expertise that we're going to have, especially commercial roofing, right? I mean, if I look at a home and we're doing, dimensional shingles, this is easy, right? We can handle this part. But when it comes to rubber roofs, most people, I would say, are ignorant to the fact of what they are, how they work. So could you tell me a little bit about that product?
Sure. We are flat roof specialists. We've always used that in our marketing. That's our bread and butter. It's a PVC membrane. It's white. It's mechanically attached normally. We can fully adhere it if it's an aesthetic type looking facility, if you're doing gables, if you got high walls that you'll be able to see from the ground. There's different ways to apply it. Most are 20-year warranties covering all material, all labor needs. We offer a free annual inspection. So not only if you hire us, not only do you get us the install, but we'll follow up with you. We send some cards out each year just as a reminder, your free annual inspection if you want to utilize it. We look at it as a marriage.
Right.
So
okay.
Once we join forces, It's not one time and out. We want to be by you by your side, beside you, the whole length of the warranty, past the warranty. Then we can service your roof once it starts to see some minor problems. Then we get into the service again and we extend the life of your roof. So, we're not here to always sell you a new roof. We're here to give you the best solution, the best long-term solution.
Right. Because I can only assume that a commercial roof like that is not cheap. So you would want, hopefully have a partner in that to where it's not like they did your roof and you have a 1-year warranty and you're gone.
Yes,
bye-bye. And they don't want to deal with it anymore because they don't want to confront if there was an issue. Because, let's be serious. It doesn't matter how good you are at your job. Nature can take its course on any product that you install.
Sure.
So going out there every year, I would assume is an important piece of this.
It helps. Ohio codes 2 roofs, and that's most code. So that's the most you can have on your roof. If you have 1 roof and you've got it insulated underneath, let's keep that insulation dry. Let's do that. That's the goal for your second roof. So once your roof starts to fail, let's maintenance that roof as long as we can until it becomes a little bit unmaintenanceable.
Right. It's time to go.
Then, hey, here's a budget. You ought to think about this in the next year or two. And then we can put that on over the top. You don't have wet insulation. Everything's good to go. Now you got another 30, 35 years you can go on your roof. So.
Yeah, and the maintenance thing is like you mentioned is so important because I hear you talking about, especially during the wintertime, is the maintenance. You guys do a lot of maintenance during the wintertime because of roofs installs or even gutters, right?
Yes.
Keeping that stuff cleaned out. That way water's not going back under residential shingles. I don't know how that looks when it comes to commercial roofing that are flat. Now, you have also mentioned in B&I that do these come in one piece? Some of them? Or
yes.
not? Do you have seams every now and again, depending on the size?
They're prefabricated sheets. So Duralast offers roll goods as well as prefabrication. So I can get anything up to 2,000 square feet, a 50 mil product. So if you're, just say it's 10 by 200 feet, I can get that, in 2 pieces.
I don't think that building would stand up and withstand the wind, just for the record, at 10 by 200.
But
She's catching some wind.
We can do anything in between, So
Very
we can do 40 by 50, or we can go as long as 80 feet.
Right.
So yeah.
How the hell do you get something that heavy up there?
It's 0.33. It's 1/3 pound per square foot. So if you figure it, it's about 650 square pounds per roll. If you use the biggest rolls, we have our own crane. We got our own system.
We got a big crew out there.
Yeah.
Say everybody lift with your backs.
Yeah.
No. Not your legs.
It's a young man's game, a lot of it, Right. So we got some studs, and everybody knows what they're supposed to do. We don't make them overexert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very safety oriented.
You got to have a well trained crew, especially in the commercial space. You got OSHA driving around all the time.
Yeah.
You see you up on the roof. You're gonna have some different problems. So very good. It's good to hear about your business, and it's local here, and it's up north in St. Henry. So guys, if you have some commercial needs, industrial needs, residential gutters, he is your man. But I do want to ask one thing, and I ask that of the guests all the time: is do you have any crazy stories in your industry or anything that's happened to you? I always say residential specific, but obviously we're in a different ball game here.
Sure.
So what happened, Bill? Let's drop it.
Okay. When I first got into the industry, and when I'm saying first, this is my first job ever. We were in a dome for Anderson's. So we were roofing a dome. So
tied off, I assume.
Oh yeah, tied off. OSHA standards. But an old fire truck with a bucket. And granted, I'm afraid of heights when I first started this. So it was 110 feet from ground to the center. And if you go straight up, it was 70 feet high. So you would have to go up and then out.
Right. So so if you fall, there's time to think about it.
Oh yeah. And I'm scared of heights, so I'm pretty dark complected, but my knuckles were extremely white going up the first couple days. It was a little over a week job, and by the end of that, you got rid of that fear really quick.
I'd say. You got to be sure-footed, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got some stories, specifically my dad falling off a roof, which we'll have to save for another time.
Okay.
He's a little clumsy, and I'll just go ahead and say it. It was him and my grandfather, I think it was, working on a roof. They were working on a flip, and they were chalk lining, right? Their first line towards the top, make sure everything was nice and straight and plumb. And so he's at the edge, he's chalk lining, and obviously, since it's my dad and my grandfather, they're just complaining and yelling at each other and arguing about something stupid, I'm sure. And he chalk lined, and he went to turn to walk, not thinking where he was at, and there was nothing there. Mm-hmm. So he was at 16 foot at the peak, and he went off. And you can ask, I think it's still bothering his shoulder today because he dropped and rolled. It's funny because where he landed, it's actually, there was an upward slope. So he hit and he just thudded against the ground, and he's still dealing with that today. But we got a lot of roofing stories, a lot of cuts, a lot of nails in hands and stuff like that. But that's different than what you're doing. You probably get people's hands adhered to the roof more than nails, right? Because I'm assuming, is it tar or what is it that you guys are using to adhere?
It's a PVC, so it's mechanically attached.
Okay.
So screws and plates. Every once in a while, like I said, we'll get on to a fully adhered job.
Yeah.
Those anymore are splatter sprays. Mm-hmm. So not so much rolling as it is splattering and then rolling the material into it.
So low danger zone. So that's it. That's all we had, guys, this week. Awesome. Again, you have a commercial roof, a building. If you know somebody that's that's the head of, what was it that you always look for? I'm sorry, in
general contractors.
No, for any kind of machine shops and stuff, the people that are maintenance directors. Couldn't say it.
Maintenance directors, facility directors, anything like that.
Yeah, so if you know anybody like that and they need to get a quick check or a double look over some work they've had done in the past, call Technical Roofing over in St. Henry, Ohio, and let them give a second look or a second opinion to see what they can do to keep you in business. But we will see you all next week. Guys, remember to subscribe on YouTube. All right, it's free. All right, you just click a few buttons or sign into your account and subscribe to us. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we will see you all next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.